Hi everyone, my name is Precious. Welcome back to my channel. And if today is your first time of watching my videos, thank you for stopping by and please do consider subscribing to our channel. So we do talk about trending topics, things happening all over the world and so much more. So today I have an update regarding Lucy Letby, the nurse who had been killing babies. So one of the doctors that she worked with is speaking out and talking about how he had actually come in and walked in on her, doing something funny to the babies. So let's watch the video and then we'll come back.
A doctor who helped catch Lucy Letby and bring her to justice has told ITV News that hospital bosses took 2 years to alert the police despite consultants repeatedly raising concerns. Speaking exclusively to our UK editor, Paul Brand, Dr Ravi Jayaram said managers forced him to apologise to the nurse after he told them he suspected she was killing babies.
When babies started dying on Lucy Letby's ward, her colleagues never expected to catch a killer. But having saved countless lives in his career, Dr Ravi Jayaram potentially spared many more by stopping her.
What was it like when babies started dying and you couldn't understand why?
I've been a paediatrician since 1992 and I had never in my career seen anything like this. And actually initially there was a feeling of thank goodness Lucy was on, because she's really good in a crisis, she's really good at managing these things. But as time progressed, the thoughts started springing into our heads. Could she be doing something deliberately?
So the thought starts sinking in that there could be a killer on the unit. I mean, that's a big moment.
It's a big moment and it's a chilling moment. I don't think anybody has a rule book for how you deal with a situation where you're suspecting that somebody's causing deliberate harm to babies on your neonatal unit.
In June 2015, after 3 babies died and another collapsed, doctors met with their managers and noted Lucy Letby's presence. 2 more babies would die later that year, another 4 collapsed, and by early 2016 there had been 3 internal reviews, but none of them came up with an answer. Until something happened which made Dr Jayaram even more certain of his own theory.
Tell me about the night when you walked in on Lucy Letby standing over the cot of baby K.
That is a night that is etched on my memory and will be in my nightmares forever, to be honest. I was sitting at the desk just outside the room writing notes, and the nurse looking after the baby said she was popping to the delivery suite to go and talk to the parents, and she said, I've left Lucy in there babysitting. Part of me was saying, you better go in and just check everything's okay, because you know what's happened before when Lucy's been on duty. As I walked towards the incubator, I could see on the monitors that the oxygen saturations, which is basically the baby's oxygen levels, were dropping. And they dropped to a level that ordinarily, number one, the alarms would have been going off. But number two, the nurse would have called for help. And Lucy Letby was standing by the top of the incubator. She didn't have her hands in the incubator.
What was she doing then?
Well, she was just standing there. Now, tubes become dislodged, but this was a 25-week gestation baby who wasn't kicking around, who wasn't vigorous. The only possibility was that that tube had to have been dislodged deliberately.
The jury didn't reach a verdict in relation to that baby, but 2 more almost died shortly afterwards. Yet,
So you watch that video and my thing is this. Why would somebody go into the healthcare just to be able to kill? That's the part of this whole story that I cannot understand. Like, something psychologically has to be really wrong with her for her to think it's okay to go into a career where you're given the responsibility of taking care of people and nursing them to health, especially kids who cannot even say anything, who are practically helpless. Why do you think it's okay to go into the healthcare field and end up killing? That's the part I really don't understand. So now this doctor is talking about how he had informed the supervisors and nobody seemed to take him serious. And at some point, they had told him to apologize to her for accusing her. Well, I mean, I can understand on their own part because It's hard to wrap your head around the fact that a nurse can be killing patients. But at the same time, I feel like the least they could have done was to do proper investigation to figure out if truly, truly what this doctor is saying is right. Especially when he's not the only one. Like the multiple doctors who had complained about the situation and what's been going on ever since she started working at the hospital. So the most they could have done was to do the proper investigation. And I am so glad that this doctor was able to persist on his gut feeling, because if not, she probably would have still been in the hospital killing more babies or harming more babies. That is so sad and so unfortunate to see that, because it's something that you never ever want to come across. A nurse or a doctor who is deliberately killing people. And at some point, it just feels like she gets up of knowing the fact that she killed someone, which is unfortunate and quite sad to see that or to hear that happening. So it is the parents that end up losing gravely. And I feel like sometimes why hospitals don't like to report some of these issues is because they don't want the public hearing about this. Because once the public hear, oh, there's a nurse who is killing people, or once the public get to hear that things like this are happening in the hospital, it's going to affect the ability of someone to just walk in and go to the hospital and say, oh, I want to be treated. Because now you're worrying, okay, is this the nurse that's been killing people? Is this the one that I heard that's been doing funky things? You don't want to go there. So I think that's probably why some of these hospitals like to protect some of this information. But on the other hand, it's at the detriment of the patient that they are treating. Because now patients are dying. Nothing in this life is ever going to bring back a dead child or a dead human being. So they need to put aside the money and all of the sentiment that they have and make sure that they do the right thing, which is protecting life. It should be the number one thing. In my opinion, that's why they don't like to disclose such things. So, and probably also why it took them so long to come to the terms that, okay, maybe we should look into what some of these doctors have been complaining. So I'm glad the doctor persisted on his complaint of this nurse, and I am glad she was completely taken off. Just such things should not be happening in the hospitals. We should not have a serial killer in a hospital. That is terrible. That is not an incident that should be happening. So my heart goes out to the parents who lost their child and to the doctors who actually spoke out about this incident. Kudos to you all. You are the heroes of this story. Well, let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.